Good morning. It is Sunday, the 24th of April. This is probably the first clip you're seeing of my Camp Nanowrimo. The reason being, I have been recording over the last few weeks, but I haven't been doing a lot, and last time I tried to put all the clips together, they just weren't making any coherent sense together. They were mismatched, there's a lot of the same thing happening. It was boring. What we are doing today instead then is going to kind of restart. So I'm going to give you an idea of what I have done so far, and then today we are getting our shit together. I also want to just review my goals because this month has run away from me and I can't expect myself to complete everything in the next week, so I may do some jiggering around. I'm also nowhere near the goal of what I wanted for camp, and I don't think it's going to happen, and then that's okay. That is the plan, just trying to get as much of the way through as possible. But before we do any of that, I think I need some kind of caffeine. So let's go and work out if I'm getting a coffee or if I'm getting an energy drink. This is an angle, isn't it? We are going to go energy drink. I do not have currently the energy, ironically enough, to make a full coffee. So we're going to go for a can, but first we got to tidy this desk because it's a mess.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon.
I realised after I turned you on for the B-roll that the biggest problems were on the floor, and I didn't want to show you those. The desk probably didn't look all that bad. So I think the last video that I posted, I was doing my prep for Camp Nanowrimo and going through like an idea of a revision plan. Let me try and give you a little bit of a rundown of what that looks like now. So this is what I had back in March and what I've been doing now. So these are all the kind of sections of kind of world building, revisiony stuff I wanted to do, and then how many points I had and how many I've done. So we just got 3 more left on tech and 1 more on empire, and I've been kind of avoiding them. And then here we have places where I need to find them specifically in the chapters. And for the flashbacks, I've been able to go through and put about 7 of them in the chapter edit notes, which are, I'm going to have to make myself do some blurring, but essentially each chapter has a section of edit notes of what I had when I was reading through it, and then any of these new bits and pieces. So I'm going to go through today and try and either finish off the tech and the empire points at the top, or start putting places where I have specific issues into the chapters. Because the idea originally is that I would get a portion of the way through this revision in April, and then May would be kind of finishing it up. I don't feel like I've actually started it. I feel like I'm just making a lot of notes to myself and not actually getting anywhere. That may require a shuffling of goals because I don't think I'm going to get it all done in May. But for now, I'm going to open my energy drink and I'm going to find some kind of video to put a timer on, and we're going to see what we can do today.
Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want.
Okay, quick catch up on where we are. We are done with the tech category and we're done with the empire category, which means all of this shit has now been done. So that's the kind of overall world stuff I had to kind of agree in my head before I could go through and do anything chapter based. In terms of the chapter stuff, we have gone through a fair chunk of the main. Haven't done anything new to the flashbacks, but I've added quite a bit to the like as you go category, which I'm kind of thinking I'll need to go back and double check pretty much each chapter, because there are some changes where I'm never going to be able to be sure exactly which chapters they're in. So I think as I revise a chapter, I'm going to have to just go through that list and just make sure I'm not missing anything from that when I do it. But making a lot of progress. Hopefully I might try and get some more done today, but I'm going to stop for now, have a little bit of a break, and then do some tidying around the house, I think. So we have done about 2 hours of this, which I was not expecting. As said before, this whole top section is all done now, but in terms of the specific chapters, the flashbacks are all done, and we've got 17 out of 35, so just under half of the main chapter stuff's all been done, And then I need to tackle this both, where it affects everything because I've made massive world changes. There are a few things I've done which I'm just not convinced I'm going to be able to remember to do. So I've copied them in the chapters, but also in the as you go through check this, because there's things that are not necessarily explicit in the text kind of things. They're just kind of world altering things where it might just be that someone just mentions it slightly offhand rather than specific details. So I've got a long list of those. So pretty much every chapter, when I'm working on it, I'm going to have to be revising through that list as well as everything else, which is going to take me a little bit longer per chapter, but that's okay. It's okay. It needs what it needs at this point. And I could do a full rewrite, but I want to try and avoid it if I can. So I'm going to try this method of going through each chapter and seeing if I can edit what I need to edit. If I get a certain of the way in and it doesn't seem feasible, and the fact that the whole world has changed just causing me more problems than I need, then I may need to do a rewrite, but I'm really hoping I don't. In terms of other things, I have finally posted another video up on the YouTube channel. It is a timer video, but it's a video, and I have managed to do a fair bit of tidying today. So overall, I'm feeling okay. It's only about 11 o'clock in the morning. I may end up doing some more of this, but I don't think I'm going to sort of keep vlogging today. I think I'm going to carry this on next week now. Having said that, next week is the first full work week I have had in about 3 weeks because I had some time off to go to a LARP event at the beginning of April. And we've also had the Easter holidays. So I have had a 4-day week, a 3-day week and a 4-day week. And now I've got to go back into a 5-day week. And I just don't know how that's going to work. I think I may have said it in the prep video. We are potentially trying to buy a house this month as well. It doesn't look like we're going to be doing any moving this month, but we need to ring a bunch of people next week and basically chase a bunch of stuff and try and get it so we can get it next month, because our lease for here runs out currently at the end of May, and while we have discussed with them the idea of like a rolling month should we need it, I'd like to know what the fuck's going on, if I'm honest. I just want like a date. I just want to get it all to a point where I know when we're moving, because it's kind of nebulous, anxiety-inducing concept until I can like specifically ring up everyone I've got to ring up, like electricity and bills and all that kind of stuff, council tax, and say we are moving on this date. This is the date that we are going to leave our flat and move into the new place. So hopefully I will bring you guys along. It hopefully, if it all goes through, means I will have my own study. So I will hopefully find a better background shot than this. When I don't have to share the room, it will be just kind of mine to orchestrate however I fancy. That's me for today. I will catch up with you all next week when we will try and finish camp, although I won't hit the goal, and see if we can get to a point where maybe in May we'll have all the chapters ready and we can start revising. It may be that it takes May and June to actually do this revision, which I wasn't planning for, but we will cross that bridge later. We can only do what we can do at this point. So I was going to go put makeup on, but I cannot be bothered. So here we are. It is the 27th of April. It is a Wednesday. It is about 5:45, so the work day is done. I need to go get some food on in a little bit, but I'm thinking I might be able to get just a little bit of a sprint in. I'm resisting the urge to spend the whole evening watching Heartstoppers on Netflix because all I want to do is procrastinate and go and do that. I'm trying to come up with like a new rejigged week plan, particularly for after we move, because I'll have my own office and therefore I should be able to maybe do some streaming. Maybe. Let's not necessarily hold me to that, but I could theoretically do some streaming, and I'll be able to like record in the evenings without having to worry about whether my partner is there and I'm going to get nervous or anything like that. With that in mind, the new plan is potentially to have Wednesday as my kind of writing author-tubey kind of day. I have in the past tried to do like a little bit of everything each day, and like a 20-minute sprint of everything in quick succession of all the things that I try and do in my evenings, but that is a lot and a lot of task switching, which my brain is not very good at. What I'm thinking is I'm going to try and attempt the idea of like solidly working on a thing in a day. So Wednesday will be my author-tube day. Monday would be my Sims videos. If you don't know, I've got a second channel where I do Sims speed builds and things, so I will link that in case that's in any interest to you. Tuesday we have a friend over, so that will be kind of a social day, and then if that falls through it might be a kind of clean up kind of day, or if I'm swamped with a lot of stuff to do that week, I'll add a little bit in the Tuesday. And then Thursday will be like another writing / author tube day. The idea in my head, whether it translates, we are yet to work out, but the idea so far is that Wednesday would be a lot of writing and filming any author tube videos, whereas Thursday would be like editing them, and if I've not got any editing to do, then it would be additional writing and like filming and stuff, with the caveat that obviously the weekends, if I'm around, would also probably end up being writing and author tube based, because that's the main thing that I do outside of my 9 to 5. The other aim would be that Fridays are completely free unless absolutely necessary, so I can stop work, I can relax, we can maybe get in a takeaway once a month, we can, when we're in the new house, we can go into the garden. My mind is going to be absolutely blown if this all goes through and we end up in the new house with a garden. But it will be like an evening that I can spend with my partner, or I can just go and put on like some comfort films, or I can go out and socialise occasionally. Maybe, probably not. More likely a glass of wine and a book. But the option should be there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So today I'm going to try it for the first time and try and basically try and do some time now, do dinner, and then do a little bit of block of time afterwards. That's kind of my thinking. I finish work around 5ish normally, and I like to try and take like half an hour to sort of decompress from work. I haven't been decompressing. I have been calling people about life insurance. That aside. And then starting like my first kind of block of activity at 5:30 till 6:30, but it's a little bit later than that now, and I probably want to do food a little bit earlier because I am hungry. But the idea is to try and get 2 hours in today, one way or another. That's the plan. Again, whether I follow through, who knows? Whether I go and get a glass of my non-alcoholic wine and sit myself in front of the Netflix and don't move for the rest of the evening, I'm hoping not, but it's possible. In terms of where I am, I think I've told you in the last clip roughly where I am, but we're still working our way through where I think things will need to go into certain chapters. I think this revision, the actual starting of the revision, because I'm not even technically starting the revision yet, I'm just collecting all of the notes and thought processes I've had to have over the last month and a half. I think it's going to take me 2 months to do this, because what I'm currently doing is I'm just plopping thoughts in with the chapter. Now, that's fine for the majority of the thoughts that I'm having. A couple of them will change a significant portion of the structure of future chapters, which I hadn't really thought about until a couple of days ago. Which is silly. It sounds really silly to have not thought about the fact that if I change this thing in chapter like 10, it's going to have an impact on everything else. So I am going to work through chronologically. I haven't worked out yet whether that means chronologically through the book or starting at the beginning of the flashbacks and working chronologically. I think that may have to be the way I do it, because a few of the world building-y changing things will have impacts from the flashbacks to the main book. There is going to be a fair amount to do. I've slumped down here. There's going to be a fair amount to do. I don't think I'm getting it all done in a month, particularly if we're moving house, which was supposed to be this month and has not happened. It will probably be next month now. Maybe the month after, but I'm really hoping not. I will be chasing people. I am trying not to be too hard on myself, because the original aim was to have this revision absolutely done by the end of May. So that I can move on to other projects in June. I believe, if I'm honest, the original concept of this one was to have it done in April, and I already moved it. I really don't want to move it again, but if I have to, I have to, or put a pin in it and come back to it afterwards. But I kind of like the idea of getting my teeth in there and trying to get as far through as possible. I don't really like the idea of getting halfway through and stopping. So we'll see how it goes. But the main thing for today is to try and do a little bit of time now, although I'm continuing to talk on this. I have no idea what length I will make this clip, but currently I've been talking for almost 8 minutes. Try and get myself into the habit of doing something now, whether it's like a 10-15 minute sprint, go make dinner, and then probably pour myself a glass of non-alcoholic rosé, which was my staple at the weekend, and I will be continuing because it's not finished yet, with my homemade curry, which will be, there's something about a Wednesday curry I can't explain. We've been doing it, that same dinner on that same day, for months. It might be close to a year, like, of just, that's been a concept we've been doing. We've been having a curry on a Wednesday. That's the kind of thinking. A fair few more sprints. I probably won't necessarily catch up on the vlog today, because the hope is that I'll get in and like get and start doing work, because if I can get through, there's 14 more of the points that are specific to just the main chapters. If I can get through that, then the only thing outstanding is the 35 points that affect both. Not going to have a crisis about that, not going to. That will take me some time, but at least if I can get to the point where both the flashbacks and the main ones that are separate are done, then I can work through the points where they're going to affect both the main story and the flashbacks in some form. No, I'm going to resist the urge to try and sign into Netflix on my computer, because that is a bad thing if my computer is linked up to my Netflix. That's going to cause me way too many distractions. And my Amazon Prime has just stopped doing Criminal Minds, so I'm going to have to find a new streaming service for that. And I'm all out of Sabrina, so I don't have as much to distract me, which is a good and a bad thing, because what I quite like about this revision so far is all of the points I'm doing I can kind of have something on the background, but that will change next month. So I am going to go do some stuff. I'm going to start recording some things. Do the thing, Nikki. Do the thing.
What I want, I'll keep dreaming.
I realised while editing these clips that I didn't sign out in any time period of camp, so it is now like the 7th of May, but I am going to close this vlog out here. So firstly, Camp Nanowrimo. Did I win? No. I think probably I got to like maybe 9 or 10 hours. I sort of stopped updating the website after a couple. I can never be consistent with the camps. I have no idea why. Did I finish my way through all of those notes that I was planning to go through? Also no. I did all of the main chapter specific ones and all of the flashback ones, but where they affected both, I did 29, I think, of the 35. The plan for this month then is to finish off those last remaining notes, which as I'm speaking to you now, I'm fairly close to, and then to start working my way through the chapters. So my aim will be to finish that revision by the end of June. I've done a quick look through my calendar, and if I have every weekend, which will not be the case, apart from 2 that I already definitely know I won't be able to do any writing on, I've estimated that I've got about 20 days, particularly if I stick with this idea of Wednesday being my writing day and potentially Thursday. I have to do about 2 chapters a day to finish, which I don't think is necessarily possible, just because it's quite a bit in each of the chapters, but I will be aiming to get as far as I can by the end of June, and we'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll be able to take on some long writing days at weekends, or hopefully there'll be some write-a-thons somewhere, or some people doing some nice long streams, and I'll just be able to bash through a bunch. So that is going to be it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to see how the rest of my revision goes, please do subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one.
Game face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me, come out with none.